It is time to sound the woohoo of 28,000 subscribers. Woohoo! How was that? Good? Okay. Today we're doing One Step Up, Bruce Springsteen. That makes sense. 776 videos, and this is our first Bruce Springsteen song. Anyways, for Mr. Mark Romano, supporter of the cause. Mark, thank you so very much for the turtle food money. And also Lost Dog 68 was asking about the bad radio version, and let me just say that they're in the same key and they're mostly the same. There's a couple of little tiny variations that almost don't even matter that I will point out to you in now. I hope it's your birthday because this is cake. Capo 3, and to visualize what this chord is, we're going to play a D chord. And if you put your pinky finger down on the E string 3rd fret, we have a D suspended 4, and we're playing Free Fallin', right? But we're not going to use this G note. Not really G, of course, because there's a capo, but there's no piano players in the room, so we can say that and we know what we mean. We're going to use this G note in the bass to give it that dreamy quality that is one step up, right? So pointer finger G2, ring finger B3, just like you're playing D, but then you get middle finger on big E3 and pluck thusly E, D, G, E, B, G, B. Bee Gees. Twice. Then we're going to the better man chord, D with an F sharp in the bass. So pointer finger goes to E2 and middle finger gets G string duty on the 2nd fret. Ring finger remains on B3. Same plucking pattern. We're going to switch to an E minor 7 chord now. Even though we're not going to pluck the A string, I'm going to put my pointer finger on A2 just in case I pluck it by accident. It won't be a wrong note. Middle finger lifts off the G string now, and ring finger stays put where it was. Same plucking pattern. Back to the better man chord, D with an F sharp in the bass. And that's the verse. But of course, plucking patterns are meant to be broken, so I'm going to gravitate towards this one that works a little better for me. You pick one that works for you, or, do one of these and change it a little bit. But if you take the D string pluck, the 2nd pluck from our pattern, and change it to a B, it gives it a better down, up thing for me anyways. So E, B, G, E, B, G, B. And then I can do it and look at the camera at the same time. But get sloppy with it. It doesn't have to be plucking all the right notes exactly at the right time. Do your thing. And Bruce Springsteen, watching videos of him doing it, he was a thumb guy, so he was using his thumb for the bass note, and if that makes sense to you, by all means, be a thumb guy. I'm not a thumb guy. Same old story, that's a fact. The chorus, E minor 7, for 1 plucking pattern's worth. The better man chord for 1, and then our number 1 chord, our D with the G in the bass thing chord for 2. And 1 more. And then A suspended 4, so D2, G2, B3. And then that's it, then you're back into the verse. So, same old story, that's a fact. 2 steps up and 1 step back. And so on and so forth. There's a distinct possibility that walking up here, E minor, D with an F sharp in the bass, that might just be a regular G chord. Play a regular G chord there if you like. I like that dreamy thing that happens when you make it a D suspended 4 with the G in the bass, but they both basically serve the same purpose, so that one is up for you to decide for yourself. A note about this chord that I'm calling D suspended 4 with a G in the bass. It is, because it's got a D from D, it's got an A from D, and it's got a G from D suspended 4, right? But it's also could be called G add 9 because this A here is the second note of the G major scale and hence the 9th note. We could argue about this until we're blue in the face. We would both be right. It's G add 9. It's also D suspended 4 with the G in the bass. I'm thinking that maybe G add 9 might be a more correct way to say it since it's the first chord of the song and clearly the home key of the song and the bass note is better assumed as the root note. It doesn't matter. Semantics. Call it whatever you want. But then the A in our song is major, which it is not in the key of G, so that makes me think this is more correctly called D suspended 4 with a G in the bass, but once again, it still doesn't matter. Woo. The Who's Wrong, Baby, Who's Right at about 1:40. It's the same chords, it's just a little more strummy. Well, it's a lot more strummy. A bunch of times, right? And the last time it does the G-ish chord, the better man chord, and then it goes into the chorus, strumming now. And here, we can definitely hear that A note in our G-ish chord. So definitely not a regular G chord, definitely the D suspended 4 with the G in the bass, or the G add 9, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But again, if you find regular G more satisfying there, by all means. So anyways, E minor, D, G-ish chord, G-ish chord, A suspended 4, back into it. So yeah, all that to say that there are just 2 parts to this song, but clearly I had a few things to work through there, so thank you for sticking around for that. And now the differences between that version and the bad radio version. Late 80s Eddie, sounds like an action figure, thought that it was the regular G chord with the open E string. We are correct. Late 80s Eddie is incorrect, but he did get the better man chord. And the E minor chord is the same. I just had a thought. Do you think that he could have written Better Man as he was learning this song? I mean, it's right around the right time, right? And it's got the chord in it. Just a thought. And then when we get to the chorus, it's going to be the E minor chord, the Better Man chord, and then featuring the regular G with the open E string to regular A, not A suspended 4. There you go. 2 tiny differences that are, like I said, hardly worth mentioning, but that's all I have to say about both versions of this song. Guys, thank you for the great request. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.